Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Radical Geek live stream for our Sunday night coffee talk. We're home. It feels like it's been forever since we've done a stream here. And as per usual, though, I have too many things out and it's like all crowded on my counter. Let's see who's here. Give me the thumbs up if everything sounds okay, because again, I had to basically start all over with the setup, and I think it's a little crooked, but we'll fix that for next week. That's all right. So let's see. And I see Lisa's here and Carrie's here. We talked about the time a little bit. Oh, and Carrie got some of the facts on the Liubao tea. So that'll be nice. But we'll go over them again in a little bit once we get it going. Yes, it is another pu'er, and yes, it is a lot of caffeine. So sorry, Carrie, but I have one coming up soon that will be Carrie friendly. So let's see. Oh, Brenda's joined us. So, trying to stay keto while in Montana. Oh, well, you know what? They have a lot of cool stuff there. I'll see what I can find and give you some things up there. One of my cousins is a hunting guides person in Montana, so they know a lot of things. If you're still around, I know it's hard because of the sound and such, but what concert are you at? I'd love to hear. Let's see. Oh, and Rickwin. Hey, Rickwin. And Just Jen. Nice to see you. And Sharon. So, yes. Oh, having the special angry. Yes. So, I'm going to be making a couple things tonight. But I also, since we were talking about it, made some of the hey yo sauce. And I got it here on the side. Okay. I did see something weird here. I'm going to try and fix something on the fly. Maybe. 50-50. Ugh. It is just... basically what I'm doing is turning the autofocus off. I could probably adjust the lighting, but I think it's probably good enough for tonight. We'll get it more set, but I saw that it was like doing some weird stuff on the screen, and that was the autofocus, so I just shut that off. So let's see. So what I'm going to do tonight is we're going to make this. I got some new tea. It's the Liubao Black Jasmine. And so I'm going to make that, and then while we're cooking or after we're cooking, when we're just shooting the breeze, I'll tell you a whole bunch about it. I will tell you that since Carrie brought it up, it's a relative of the pu'er, and so it does get some of that funkiness to it because it's been fermented. But I'll also tell you the reason it's jasmine. You might remember we've talked about jasmine before. Usually it is layered with green tea. And in this case, it's done with black tea. And yes, black tea, meaning it's been dark, roasted, and fermented. As you might recall, a lot of times when we talk about tea, and maybe you're new and you don't recall, so it bears repeating. A lot of times what we have in the United States that's labeled black tea is actually red tea. So just a couple little facts. Like I said, we'll talk more about it later on. Hey Renee, good to see you guys. So, also, I don't want to forget, because I know that she won't be here tonight, but she'll watch the replay. Our super amazing moderator, Shauna, who is on a crafting retreat. Happy birthday, and my gift to you, just like for many others, I will not sing to you, but I got you pretty soon. You see, we get to see each other in just a little shade over a month, so don't worry, I won't forget. So let's see. Oh, and Just Jen saying, and she's wondered if Super Coffee stopped making their super creamer. We can't find it in the stores anymore, and they don't have it listed on their website. I don't know. I haven't been a consumer of their creamer. I bought it in a couple pinches once in a while for Attila, but I hadn't looked. I can always I'll send them a little note and ask them. So let's see. Oh, hey Miriam, good to see you tonight. All right, so first things first, let's get this tea going. I want my tea, and then we'll talk about the tortillas. For a pot of tea, which is what I'm gonna make because it is lovely iced, so after this, I'm just gonna throw it in and refrigerate it. Even though I did my monthly shop and the fridge is full, I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I'll figure something out. So let me come around so you can see the tea leaves. I know. It's so awkward. I gotta find a better way to place things, but you can see. So you can see they're all small and and shrivelly from being dehydrated and such, are fermented and dried and all of that. But trust me, they will expand just like our other tea leaves. Now the thing to tell you about this is that this is like super punch you in the face fragrant. Now, also, I don't know what it is with the lighting. I just saw it go dark and then lighten up again. I don't know. Something weird for sure. I'll have to find it. But we're good to go. This is because it is fermented. We do want to make sure that this is a high heat brew. So that is one of the things to remember, because a lot of times when we talk about teas, we talk about using a lower temperature. In this case, we're using the full boil. And we're going to do that quick wash where it's just a few seconds here for the first, to help get rid of the bitters and to release a bit more of that fragrance. So when I mentioned previously about, I'll need that water to stay at temperature, about jasmine tea and green tea, wow, the smell is so awesome. Like, it's all the way up here. Amazing. I feel like I'm like in the little forest of jasmine. It's super awesome, and that is one of the things about it, is while it's very, very mild and gentle, burning my hands there, with the green tea, when it is done like this with the heavy fermentation, they actually layer it up with like 4 to 6 layers of the jasmine, so it's really powered in there. Let me just get my water. I don't know why I carried the tea back there when I was going to brew it out here for you guys, but you can see instantly it's going to carry on and brew right up quickly. It's darkening quite a bit over on this side. And for the entire pot, it's only 8 grams of tea. So this little, let me just pour some water on the counter too while I'm at it. So this whole pouch will make several pots. Set that there to go. It just needs about like 20 to 30 seconds and it'll be done. So yes, I do have the double wall glass. This one, you can't really see it on the camera, but also this is my big tea mug and it has like a little heart shape in it. So you can't see it on the camera because it's clear glass. But I love that, and the double insulation makes it nicer for sniffing. And this is one of those teas where you want to really super enjoy that aroma. So let's see what we've got here. Lots and lots of hellos back and forth. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Just Jen says she knows she doesn't talk with Renee often, but wants her to know that we think about her. I think that's just lovely to share those kind of things once in a while. And also just Jen saying she admires Carrie's resolve, because like he comes to these all the time and he can't even enjoy coffee or a lot of these caffeinated teas. But you should be able to eat these tortillas that we're going to make. So I got you today, Carrie. At least not in the beverage, but in the food. So that's going to be good. Although I don't think you do cheese, so I'm going to ruin it when I put the cheese on there. So as you can see, it immediately, look how fast that was for that lovely dark golden tea. And let me just get the little basket out, because you don't want to leave it there to steep forever, or it will definitely be very, very bitter. And you can see when I lifted the leaves, it darkened even more, just as the washout. And now we can just set that aside, because I will probably brew it once more after the live stream. Pour my glass. I'll have to let it cool for a minute before I take a sip though, because it is obviously really warm. But there we go. Glorious. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? It's just a lovely to look at, and just, oh my gosh, amazing. The smell is incredible. Oh, Just Jen's asking if I remember Tivana. Yeah, I used to love Tivana. They were a lot of fun in there. We used to go there all the time. Um, the Matavana. You know what? I don't know. I can look it up though because I can't remember what's in that particular tea. So I'd have to look it up. I'm certain you can get more of it. It's just a matter of finding where the best import is for it. So let me turn this on to heat up my griddle. I thought today, since it's hot and people are, you don't want to be heating up your whole house and stuff. I thought also, because it is Shauna's birthday and I was really just thinking about her a lot, that one of the things that I appreciate is that she often posts pictures of her foods, and she's mentioned these carnivore tortillas a lot. And quite frankly, when I had to ask her, I was like, which recipe are you using? And she shared one, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. So, and then I thought, but you know what? I know some other versions and that are carnivore friendly. And of course, you see me make my crepe wraps all the time that are just the eggs and gelatin. So I'm not going to do that one, but I thought I would pick another couple recipes that I do enjoy and share those with you just to kind of refresh our memories. Some of these we don't see all the time. So I've got my 1/4 cup of pork rind dust. I just grind them up in my NutriBullet, which I apologize, but we are going to have the horrendous blender noise for a bit. It is going to be very, very blendered in here. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Carrie says he's been using his new wave oven to avoid heating the house since he's been in the triple digits. Yep, that seems very smart to me. So, whew, only 113. My goodness. So a 1/4 cup of the pork rind dust, 1 whole egg. You just dump it right in there. And then you have to add fat, 1 tablespoon of melted butter. I melted the butter and then I let it cool down a bit so that it doesn't cook with the egg while you're mixing it together. But literally, that is everything for this. And the pork rinds I used were the Epic sea salt and Himalayan salt version. So it gets a saltiness to it as well. I've heated my little electric griddle here to the 3.5. Just in case somebody else is using an electric griddle. I know that doesn't translate. I don't know what the actual temperature is, but I put a little bit of butter on there and it's smoking away. So, but this is really the simplest of recipes. Not as simple as the next one, but oh, and Sharon says the noise canceling works and you don't hear it that loud, which is good because we definitely have to do a fair bit of blending. Hey Keto Simple, nice to see you tonight. Let's see. Oh, and Renee says she stopped by the Asian grocery the other day and picked up another one of those Japanese canned black coffees. They're so good, the UCC ones. Oh yeah, the coffee black. They are really good. I love that. It's one of my favorites. So all we're doing is combining these and it turns into a fairly solidish kind of dough. And now I wish I had brought gloves because I don't know, I don't like touching the sticky egg. I know, whatever, suck it up, Maitreya. But this is gonna make 2 tortillas. I'm just gonna cook one and I'll cook the other one off after the live stream so that we can do the other one as well. But you just take your little pork rind dough ball. I'll bring it around so you can see the texture. Set that aside so I get some space on my counter. But this is how your dough should look, so you can see it all mixed together. And I find that in this case, the tortilla press makes them too flat. I got some water that I spilled on the counter. Let me wipe that up real quick. Just water, not tea, so we're all good. All right, and so I just used 2 pieces of parchment, and then I lightly roll it. You gotta be careful because they roll way thin too quickly, and if you overdo, they're a little bit hard to get off the parchment too. But this is everything for this nice carnivore friendly pork rind tortilla. So I peel one off. We're just gonna slap it right down here, and you gotta let it fry just a little bit so that you can peel the parchment off. And now we're just gonna cook it off. And once I flip it, we'll go ahead and then we'll add some of the shredded cheddar cheese, which, by the way, I shredded today using the my salad shooter. And my kid was visiting, and let me just tell you, the extra pair of hands to hold my little cheese bag open was fantastic. Oh yeah, and welcome everybody to Attila, our super awesome moderator of the evening, especially since Shauna can't be here. I lost my words, you guys. What a night. So, you know what helps is having something to flip these with. Craziness, right? So, it's still a little bit soft, and let it fry a little bit more. There we go. And it does get very crisp. And I'm just going to throw a little bit of cheese on there. I'll let it fry for a second, and then I'll fold it so that it's in half. So, let's see. Renee says she hopes everyone gets the play in the words Dane Bramaged. Oh yes, I did. I thought I got a good chuckle out of it, as that's how she felt after the long week. Lots of tough patients, change in department director, and other life stressors. Boy, it seems like everybody had a rough week last week. What was up with that? Like, I don't know. Last week was a very long month. My griddle is too slippery. There we go. So we'll just let that fry and crisp up for a bit. I had too much butter on there, so it's a little greasy. Oops. It'll still be delicious. So the next one, I'll tell you about the other tortilla. It's stupid simple. It's chicken and eggs. So I have 2 ounces of chicken and 2 eggs. You can't really tell on the camera. It looks like 3 eggs, but it was 2. I got a double yolker, you guys. Ha, lucky days. That means this week's going to be better for us all, right? I know. But the chicken that I use today is a smoked chicken. I did 2 batches of smoked chicken thighs. So I had some, and this was seasoned with the Redmond's salt, pepper, garlic. If you're using just a plain, unseasoned baked or rotisserie chicken, then you might want to add like some salt and pepper to it. But you can pretty much flavor it however you want. I love using the smoked chicken. I have to say, I don't think you should use canned chicken for this. I think it's too moist. Sorry, Renee. It has too much liquid in it, and quite frankly, the taste and smell is off-putting for a tortilla. This comes out kind of nicely tasting. So you just dump your eggs in there. I'm going to give this a flip again now that it's had a moment. So getting that little bit of a crispy edge. And now we're going to have the noise. So, oh, Carrie says I have to watch out. That might be an addictive habit, smoking chicken. Ugh. But yeah, so just say no to the canned chicken. Buy yourself a rotisserie chicken if you don't want to cook some. All right, you guys ready for the blending? I'm sorry. It's going to be crazy, and it takes a minute. So I'll take a sip of tea. There you go. Shutting off the dog. All right. That wasn't so bad. Boy, that was loud here. But let's taste the tea. Oh my God, it is heaven. I could drink this tea forever. Yeah, everything makes Dyson dark. Setting off my little doggy alarm there. So let me pull this off the griddle. Now I will say, none of these ever get like super crispy. I suppose I could leave it there to fry and fry and fry, but yeah, I'm not going to. I don't have that kind of patience. Maybe get that little bit of cheesy grease off of there. I mean, I suppose I could leave it. It probably would taste good. But we're going to wipe it. So that is it, though, for the chicken tortilla. All you do, there you go, is blend your chicken and your eggs. It's like super simple. Now, if you were expecting these to taste like tortillas that you had before keto, you know, that are made from wheat flour, that ain't gonna happen. I just saw Tilla's joke. He prefers smoking sausage, but the draw is terrible. Oh, that was pretty funny. Also, really terribly funny. So, but you want to make sure that you blend it so that it's basically smooth, because you don't want chicken pieces. And we're just basically going to do something very similar. Now this is 2 or 3 tortillas worth of batter. But I'm just going to spread it out to the size that I want it and the thickness that I prefer. And then we're just going to let it cook. And then we'll, when it's gotten pretty solidified, sort of like, you know, when you can tell the pancake is ready to flip, it's like that. You just kind of let it sit there for a bit, and then we'll flip it over and finish it off. I'm afraid I didn't get it very round, but that's all right. Round is really for machines, not people. We like our artsiness. So I just continue to give it that nice little spread. Once we flip it, we'll do the same thing. We'll put the cheese on it, and then we'll talk about it. So this is the pork rind. Hang on with me one second. I'll keep talking while we do this. Maybe. My fridge is like super full because I did all that shopping. I tested to make sure I remembered how to make the pork rind ones. So I wanted to show you though, this is straight out of the fridge. This is the pork rind. You can see it's still pliable. It's not tearing or anything like that. So I just thought that would be good if you saw these. And then you just reheat them with a little bit of moisture in the microwave. You can toss them right back onto your griddle. I see Sharon says she loves the griddle like mine, and so I'm glad to hear that. We'll put that away after the live stream and just throw it back there. So this is ready to flip. And it's a slightly more delicate, but like it doesn't tear or anything. But it looks real nice. So that's it. Hey, Hungry Heath, good to see you. I'm using your recipe tonight, the KetOH-IO sauce. So, and I'm really super looking forward to it. However, I use the spicy angry, the special angry of the Texas 5 Spice, and it is fire. It is super delicious. And if you are not a member of the Hungry Heath channel, go ahead and subscribe there. And then they also have a Facebook group called the Hungry Horde. And in there, I actually did find their original recipe for the KetOH-IO sauce on their YouTube. So, but it's super easy, and it's just, like I said, it's delicious. And, while my tortilla, oh, I forgot, you guys, you just let me put that on there and forget about putting my cheese on there, because this is my dinner. I'm starving. Because a lot of time, on Sundays, I wait for this live stream. But most times I tend to eat early in the morning and then eat again like around 3. And then I eat around 3 and then I don't eat again all evening. So today I'm like, it's like super late and I'm like, I am so hungry. Hey, Gigi's here. Oh yeah. Oh, no problem, Renee. I appreciate it. So, but, and yeah. We can post a link to it as well in the comments after this post. So, but yeah, I just thought that would be great with a couple little cheese quesadillas. And we'll talk about the differences here. So, let me have some more of this tea. It's so good. So yeah, like you know, way in the beginning, Carrie did some of the research on this, and he mentioned that it's a variant of the pu'er. We talked about pu'er on this stream, I think twice, and how it's been fermented. So what they do to make the Liubao is they pick the leaves, and then they roast the leaves. Then they put them in and give them a spritz and start layering it. And that the bit of the wetness, whereas they layer the tea leaves and the jasmine leaves, it starts the fermentation process, and then the jasmine scent and aroma seeps into the tea, and so it gets that dehydrated, and then as it ferments, and then they go through and they do the drying process and get it all lovely and rolled up. I'm going to flip this to the other side. I will say definitely the chicken tortilla is much softer. Weirdly though, it does not taste like super chickeny or eggy. Like, it does have some chicken flavor and it does have some egg flavor, but it doesn't taste like an omelet, and I have no idea why, because it's literally chicken and eggs. But somehow cooking it neutralizes some of the flavor. So I think the pork rind ones are okay, but I don't have enough patience to like sit there and fry them crunchy. And I think that they're, because I don't do that, they tend to get a little bit greasy. I was right though, the hey-yo sauce is amazing with the quesadilla. Oh, and Sharon agrees. The angry is so good. It's a great heat and has a new depth of flavor. Yeah, it burns my lips and I love it. So, I can't help eating it. But yeah, so the hey-yo sauce is really easy to make. It's mayonnaise and yogurt, some sambal oelek, the Texas 5 spice, and then also some chipotle powder. That's basically it. Sometimes if I'm switching up their recipe, I add a little bit of a citrus, like a lime or lemon juice. But and I was tasting it earlier, and when I was tasting it, I kind of had the thought that I might like to blend it up with some softened cream cheese and take it with like some celery or some pork rinds to like a party. Let's see, Lisa's asking if I thought if I added corn extract it would taste like a corn tortilla. To the pork rind one, maybe. To the chicken one, I would say probably not. I've got a little bit of a cheese grit here, so I'm going to let it cook some more and crisp up. So let's see. It probably would with the pork rinds, but it is pretty pork rind forward. So it has that flavor to it. It's not bad. I like it, but full transparency. Let's see. Oh, Lisa is thanking Renee for reminding her that she still hadn't made the hey-yo sauce. It was really good, but she should have made half the amount though. Oh, I love the hey-yo sauce when I make it. I love it for all kinds of stuff. I see that Renee also puts it on omelets. It's fantastic with eggs. If you eat cauliflower and you have cauliflower rice, it's super good if you make like a cauli rice hibachi type meal. Is way better than like a keto yum yum sauce, and the spiciness really goes well on it. I also, like, one of the reasons that I made it is one of our meal preps is going to be egg roll in a bowl, and the hey-yo sauce is amazing on it. Super delicious. So we use it for a lot of stuff. All right, I can no longer wait. Even though I sat here and I ate the pork rind one, let me move my hey-yo sauce. Let me bring this and show you them both up close, so you can see. There is the chicken. I'm afraid to tilt my plate too much. I don't want things to drop off. And then this one is the pork rind. So this one is stiffened up a little bit as it cooled, The chicken one is still really hot, so it's a little pliable, but it too, as it cools, will firm up just a smidge. The chicken one is, like I said, it's very soft in texture. It would be way more similar to a soft flour tortilla, but it does not taste like a flour tortilla. None of these taste like any of those things. Oh yeah, Carrie, you have a lot of sensitivities to foods. It's so hard. So, but I'm glad that you like to see other people enjoy them. You know, you could, if you can eat like the yogurt and the mayonnaise though, you could totally use like a roasted poblano chili powder, which doesn't have the spice, unless it's the green. Like if you can't eat bell peppers and stuff, then it probably won't work out. Oh, and Renee says I mentioned egg roll in a bowl. That's another reason she loves the Hey Yo. It's reminiscent of Yum Yum sauce to her. Yeah, I think it's a relative, but it's way spicier, and I think has a nicer tang to it for me. So mileage may vary. All right, it's still really hot, but I'm gonna cut it into my three little triangles. So you can see. So now it's firmed up a bit. You see, it'll flop, but it won't just like bend over. It stays. So, oh, okay, Carrie. Yeah. So I'm sorry, but so you could though. Okay, what about the citrus juice? Can you have that? Because one of the things you could do is you could mix the three dairies, the mayonnaise, the yogurt, and a little bit of cream cheese with the salt and a little bit of pepper and the lime juice. And that would be a nice little dip without a lot of things in it. So, as you can see, there we go, standing up. It's good. But like I said, there's the reminiscence of the smokiness because I used the smoked chicken, but it doesn't have like a big heavy chicken taste. So if you need something just to fill that kind of a roll, but you don't want to go and have the egg life wraps, which are still a favorite of mine, or you don't want to like myself, I have celiac, so even if I wanted to go have those commercial tortillas because they're made with wheat, they're an absolute no for me. So it's just another option. And I thought, so I've been watching Shauna's plates, and I thought, happy birthday, Shauna, let's make your food. Sorta. I got lazy with the quesadilla, but you know. Carrie says, with all the dairies, he could be legendary. Ha! So, it's really good. So, the other thing I was going to mention, I'm going to turn this off for the moment. I'll reheat it to finish after the live stream. So, I lost track of what I was thinking. Yeah. I don't know. I think, you know, like right now, I'm doing a lot of meal prep because I did a big binge kind of grocery shop. But I'm just curious about other people who are doing meal prep, what your recent ideas are. Like I said, for us, I just made the smoked chicken thighs and some of the smoked barbecue country pork ribs. And then we're making the kielbasa and sauerkraut and the egg roll in a bowl. And then I have some ground chicken that I'm going to use some of the ground pork and make them into little meatballs that I can have with my soup, because I also still have some of the noodles that I like. Just Jenna saying, do you think you could make a crepe flavored with keto chow, or would it not turn out right? It does not turn out right. It does not. It is not good. Stick to the regular keto chow pancake flavors and just thin it out more to cook it. I haven't tried putting keto chow in with the eggs and gelatin to see if that works out, but as far as as a tortilla, it definitely does not. The keto chow, I think, is, I don't know, too heavy or something, or has too many ingredients for these kind of little simple things. Hey, just Jason Keto. So let's talk about this tea. So actually, I think we've sort of fed on a lot of the tea things. So, but I wanted to show you something fun and read you some of these the little parable that comes. As you know, I'm a Jesse's Tea House partner, and the first time you order, you get 10% off. There's a link to it in my bio. Yep. I know I say I don't do a lot of endorsements or whatever, but the few that I have, I swear I live and die by their quality. So, you know, but I get zero out of it. It means nothing to me. I don't get nothing other than it's a coupon basically for you guys for your first order if you decide to try it. So one of the fun things is Jesse, who owns Jesse's Tea House, go figure, was actually a comedian, and he travels. He actually speaks Chinese, which is why he does the import of the high quality Chinese teas. He's really super into Chinese culture, and also not just like regular historical Chinese culture. He loves all of the mythical culture and the tall tales and stuff like that. So this month I got a little tall tale here where they're talking about a saying that they have, and because they talk about the year of the snake, and you know how you love to get those the years. This one says the year of the snake. If you were born in 1929, 1941, 1953, 1965, 1977, 1989, 2001, 2013, 2025. Obviously nobody's born in 2025 yet, but so if you were born in any of those years, you were born in the year of the snake. This story is called Beat the Grass to Startle the Snakes. Let's see. Okay, just lots of hellos to Jess, Jason, Keto. All right, I want to make sure. Let's see. Oh, Carrie says he usually has his fridge filled with livers and roast or hamburger patties and eggs. He's been cooking with them in the new wave, and then they're ready. That's a good strategy. So let's see. So here, beat the grass to startle the snakes. And by the way, they write it in Chinese where it says, and I don't know how to pronounce it properly. So they do teach you the lettering, and then it tells you the words. But here it says the expression comes from a story of a country magistrate or judge named Wang Lu. Wang Lu was very greedy and took many bribes. One of his secretaries was equally corrupt and often schemed for Wang Lu's deeds. One day, Wang Lu was approached by a man who had noticed the improprieties of the secretary. He filed a formal complaint, and Wang Lu was shocked and frightened. The secretary had been as corrupt as him, and this punishment could have just as easily gone to him. Wang Lu realized he had narrowly avoided disaster, but now he was forewarned. People were watching, inspired by his near brush with the law, and he wrote the following words: "By stirring the grass, you have also startled me, the snake beneath the grass." Thereby, he shared his insight with the world without revealing himself. And so the story is there to tell you that when we rustle the grass, we also warn the snake that we are close. So best to not needlessly stir the grass as you prepare for conflict. So I think I enjoy these. You know, I'm a doctorate of literature, so these are like my cake. I enjoy getting these fun little tidbits. So, but yeah. So there you go. There's our fun evening of tea. I've told you about the layering. Carrie let us know about the locale. If you want to repeat that message, Carrie, that would be pretty cool, because people have been joining after, and sometimes scrolling back doesn't work as well. I, however, am going to enjoy the heck out of this tea. So I will tell you that if you aren't into like a little bit of that pungent and funkiness of the tea, and it is a heavy floral on the tongue. It's almost thick with the floralness of it. And I still love it, but if you are sensitive to that, be forewarned. So let's see. Oh, Renee says she just placed a plastic lid on the stove, and as she was moving her beef from the pan, and it bumped into the element and melted. How do I get the plastic off, or do I have to buy a new coil? Ooh. I don't know. On a coil, like I've had that happen on my glass top, and it is not fun. You have to get one of those credit card type scrapers that they get for like decals and stuff, and kind of carefully scrape it off. But I don't know if that works the same way on metal. I hope someone else here knows. Yep, okay, so we said it was fermented, from the Kanguo County in China's Guangxi province. Yeah, okay, so those were things that we had talked about earlier. And we talked about it being a pu'er. So I'm going to eat a little bit more of this quesadilla because it is calling to me. So good. Like I feel like I'm living my best life right now because everything is so tasty, so simple, and so delicious. Mm. Oh, and Sharon is asking what sort of exhaust fan Renee has. That's true. Sharon knows so many cool things. And that reminds me, Sharon, that I meant to ask you at some point a thing, not this style, but since this is a metal insulated cup, do you have products or access to products to things like this that you could customize? If so, we should chat. I have an idea that I'm working on. Oh, specifically if it vents outside or recirculates. And that's probably because of the plastic fumes, although I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I would assume. So, you guys, even just cooking here on the griddle, I am broiling. I'm going to drink more of my icy stuff instead of the tea for a moment. This was electrolytes, but throughout the day, I've just been adding more ice and water, so it's mostly water and ice now. Oh, okay. So it wasn't that much as a small lid, no smoke. The burner was off but hot. Yeah, hopefully it'll scrub right off. It might take some extra elbow grease. I don't know if you can detach it and try like maybe magic eraser. I don't know. I should not be giving advice because I don't know. I don't want to make you damage your coil. So hopefully other people. Ah, Sharon says to place it in the freezer and try to chip off as much as you can, then turn off the rest. Oh, then burn off the rest. Ah, good. Hey, the warden. So Hungry Heath and the warden, what you guys have? Normally you're having dinner as my live stream starts. I'm very curious. So, I'm going to tell you guys, I didn't make it a fresh time yet to film the peanut butter maker, but I will get there hopefully sometime this week. But I did make it to the farmer's market, and oh, I cannot wait to film Cheese Friday because now I can do it normal and not go live. The going live, my thumbnails are weird. I look like Wilson looking over the fence or a Killjoy because it said smile for a thumbnail, and on the screen it showed my whole face, but when it posted, it's just like this much. It looks ridiculous, but I don't know if I care about fixing it. So let's see. Oh, awesome. So I will chat you up later, Sharon. That's exciting things. It's OhioCon things. So let's see. Oh, okay. So, and the warden is passing on some hellos to Carrie. So I'm just trying to think of what I was saying. It's all gone. Yeah, this week was just been, all of the time was all sucked away. Plus, I still wasn't feeling good because I was convention tired, which is like super exhausted. I couldn't even do like regular normal day things. I would get through work, and since work was stressful, it was all I could do to like stay awake until bedtime. Oh, Heath has pulled pork, bacon, and goat cheese, and the warden has duck egg omelets. Ooh, those sound good. Sorry, I'm gonna chew a little bit. Oh, the warden's omelet has bacon, Gruyere, and goat cheese with a side of fermented foods. Nice. So, speaking of fermented foods, if any of you see the super high quality big fermenting jars, I've got my eye out. Um, I had one many years ago when I first was still in college. I had taken a job and I was doing some import and wholesale stuff, and I got to travel to a lot of places, and I had a lot of friends. And afterwards, I went one time just for fun to visit, and I was visiting some friends in Vietnam, and I actually had like a nice, great big fermenting jar, and it was like super thick walled. It was glorious. But you know what? When you are young, you travel and you move, and it made it all the way to Ohio, but didn't last in Ohio very long before it eventually crashed to the floor and got destroyed. And while I still have my mason jars and my nice little fermenting lids, I've been thinking I really missed that fermentation jar. It had an amazing brine because I had built it up over years after years after years. But I went looking to shop for one, and now all I see are like mass-made commercial ones that they don't have like that nice artisan look. They look very manufactured, and they look so thin and frail that I am afraid to get one and just have it laying out on my counter all the time, because that's what you would do with a big fermentation jar. You know, you're going to have that, and you're going to create that brine and that flavor and that fermenting process over the years as you change out different vegetables and things that you put in the brine, etc., etc. So I'm keeping an eye out. Let's see. All right. Well, any other questions about our tea or our tortillas? Either one of those things, and any other requests upcoming for the week, because otherwise I am pretty happy to go ahead and cook off my last couple tortillas and eat my dinner, then do a little bit of cleanup before I head up to bed and kind of wind down, because while this week coming is definitely going to be better, there is an avalanche of work that we are going to dive into to do some pretty awesome things. So let's see. Oh, and Carrie says the tortillas look great. I'm glad. I'm glad that, and like I said, so, you know, some of the food you can eat, which, by the way, the pork rind tortillas and these chicken tortillas taste good with a little bit of ground beef in there. So, duly noted. If you want to scramble up some ground beef and eggs or some sausage and eggs, they're really nice that way. Oh, Marion says she has a friend who does a lot of fermenting, so she'll ask her. Great, thank you. I would really appreciate that. I've just I don't know, I've been missing it. And like I said, it's fine in my regular jars. You know, I can make my fermented chilies, kimchi, all kinds of stuff. Ferment away, but I do miss my great big jar. So. Oh, Renee, no worries. There's never anything to apologize. It's YouTube. Oh, and just Jen said she had brisket and ribs. Thanks, hubby. Yeah, indeed. So, that's pretty much everything I have for tonight. Like I said, nothing new has happened because this week was just basic lazy recovery. I took the time to recover. I also have to recover from poor choices during vacation. Like, oh man, I went off the rails. So my body's a little bit having a little bit of rebellion. It's like, no, that was too much fast food. And even though I ate good stuff, like we have a fast food place at the food court there that's chicken and eggs, and they told me they don't put anything in the eggs, it's just eggs. I ate the chicken. I ate the omelets every day. They were enormous omelets, but I also went to the cheesesteak place, and they had one that was like a chicken chipotle with cheddar, and I'm certain that that's probably the culprit because I ate that a few times because it was big and delicious. But I'm pretty sure that those were not the best ingredients. So just more overindulgence than bad food. So and now I just kind of need to clean up again and get back to the really good clear foods again. So Oh yeah, I want to see more of the Warden's fermentation videos as well. Hungry He says we have a whole series of fermenting recipe videos coming soon that we're calling the Fermentation Project. Nice. I had started to do that like a year and a half ago, and then we started hitting shortages, and I couldn't get the chilies I liked, and I couldn't get the vegetables I liked. But you know, I think we did do pickled radishes. So for your fermentation, fermented radishes are spectacular, especially if you get daikon. Uh, Fermented bok choy is amazing, especially get the little baby ones, and then they're really great. I like to make like an Asian ben sort of broth and have the bok choy and pork belly. Really good. So I super look forward to it. I am always in favor of more fermented foods. They're so good for your gut health. So, and of course, you know, I know the Warden and I have in common a love for the pickled ginger. So I know it's not fermented, it's pickled, but they're related. Also still good for your health. Oh, good. Sharon says that she just got the message that someone going to KPL for their first time has taken her room reservation. Fantastic. I'm so excited to see you guys. Oh, and Renee is asking if my Cheese Friday videos will continue live. She missed the last one. So I'm hoping not. They've been going live for Cheese Friday has been a byproduct of being exhausted and in locations where it was simply not comfortable to film and edit and all of that. So I'm hoping that now that things are sort of more normal again, that we can get back to the regular filming rotation. That is my plan. Oh, Warden said she's had two failed ones that she had to pitch today. The fermented mushrooms and the spicy slaw. They were the first batch, and I think she messed up the brine mix. Oh, yeah. Send me a note about the slaw. Let's see what happened there. I can see how fermented mushrooms would be really hard to do. I don't think I've ever done mushrooms before. Interesting. Oh, Renee wants to see Shelly film at the farmer's market. Yeah, me too. I would tell you guys, I talked about that. We were talking about whether we would film at our farmer's market, but our farmer's market is so crowded and it's really uncomfortable. And I think filming would be not very welcome. So. Oh, Renee says she has to share the pic of her kefir score. Excellent. So, all right, guys, I'm really going. I'm going to go finish my dinner. I really appreciate, I'm so glad that we had a regular live stream. It feels like it's been 100 years, even though it was only 2 weeks where it was different. So, I will see you all real soon. You have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.